fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World. Today we're here at the Keukenhof in the Netherlands. Today what we have for you are some of the do's and don'ts of visiting the Keukenhof. Now I don't have to tell you after you watch all the videos, don't expect you're going to be alone here, because this is a super popular destination for this time. The locals come, international travelers come, so it is going to be packed. So therefore, a don't I have for you is don't forget to pre-book your tickets. There are time slots that you can have it so you know you get in, because they do sell out. Now, don't think you can't buy tickets at the door. They do have that, but you probably want to check online, and they'll actually sell you a ticket that'll actually give you the public transportation as well, the combi ticket, so you can do that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to see all these, you want to make sure you book it out. For example, I was booking a couple days out, and there was only one spot available at noon. Like, everything else was sold out, so do be aware of that, all right? So yeah, don't expect a lot of alone time. But what's cool is you can find some side pass, which you actually can get away from the people a little bit. So don't feel you have to bring snacks with you when you do come to the Keukenhof, because there are a number of restaurants and little shops around here. Yes, you can get your fries or a pasta little bowl if you want when you're here. They do have that. However, I'll say this, don't bring your snacks, because it's not necessarily cheap to eat here, but you do have options, so I want you to know that. But you could be like the Dutch and just bring some bread and cheese and you'll be taken care of. It's right in your backpack and you'll be okay. Now, another don't I have for you, whether you're buying your tickets or getting your fries when you're walking around, don't forget, you don't need cash when you're here. They don't take cash. Everything is cards, so don't forget your cards when you come, because you're going to need it, because literally no cash accepted, even for tasty French fries. So scheduling don't I have for you is don't think this is all year round. The Keukenhof is very popular for the few weeks that it's open. So basically think end of March to the beginning of May, that's when you have peak tulip season. That's when they're all blooming, and it's just fantastic. And they do kind of bloom in a kind of a different order, so it's not like everything is bloomed all the time. But just know that April is going to be your best month to be here. I'm here in April filming this because it's the perfect time to be here, because the most stuff's open. But it does start at the end of March, goes to the beginning of May. But I will say, if someone gives you a tiptoe through the tulips tour offer in November or late summer or whatever, it's not really going to be something like this, okay? So do be aware of that. Now, don't think you could go tiptoeing through the tulips when you come to the Keukenhof. They have everything kind of lined off here, but if you want to go wandering through the tulips, you can at some of the farms outside of Keukenhof, but not the actual Keukenhof, so don't do that. Also, don't pick the tulips, please. That is not something you do. There are farms outside where you can pick your tulips, but the Keukenhof is not one of those places. Also, if you're thinking about bringing some of these beautiful bulbs back home to have beautiful tulips where you live, well, I got to tell you this, don't think every country lets you bring them back, because it's an organic product, and so depending on the country you're going to, you might not be allowed to take it back. So you might want to check that before you stock up on all those bulbs before you take it home. Also, I got to say, don't miss out on the Instagram shots, because the Keukenhof, they've got their IG spots on point, because you have these like little bridges you can go through, boats you can go to, perfect shots they have set up. Just have a little patience waiting through, because the line can be a bit, and people like to get their pictures, so you'll be stuck out there on this one for a while. But honestly, they got some really good like setup shots for you when you're here, so it's kind of nice. It makes it easier, so you know what to do. But you just have to wait for the line a little bit, especially this one. These people are like, can we go? Can we go? Now, when you're getting dressed for the day to come to the Keukenhof, I have a don't for you, and that is don't forget the right shoes. Look, obviously this isn't a high heel kind of place, but what I want you to know is you're going to be walking around a lot, and there's some pavements like this, but a lot of times you're just walking on the ground, like the grass. And so make sure you have some good shoes, some sturdy shoes. You know, they might get a little muddy, they might get a little dirty, just so you know, but the right shoes are important, because all you do is walk around and walk around and walk around. And then if you're going to hop on a bike and rent a bike outside of here and go drive around and ride around, you need to have the right shoes for that, because I've seen some tourists that are very, very unhappy because they wore the wrong shoes. Now, I'm sure the Keukenhof people will be horrified for me saying this, but don't think the Keukenhof is the only place you can see tulips in the Netherlands. Yes, it is the best place to see them, because it's all with all these displays. I'm sure you've seen all these pictures, all the stuff that's out there, all the things they let you do, the pavilions, the food you can have, the fun you can have when you're here. I mean, it's a really great experience, but it's not the only place you can see tulips. So when you're going around, you might see tulip fields where you can go and take pictures. Other ones might have you wander through them, but don't think it's just here. And also, don't think Keukenhof is by itself. There's actually a town right by here you can actually go visit as well. So help out the local economy, not just the Keukenhof economy. So I think another don't you need to think about when you're coming here is don't forget to bring layers, because don't trust the weather in the Netherlands because it's quite temperamental. It's not on schedule like the people. The people are very much on schedule. You know what you're going to get. But the weather here, you know, a storm can come up. Well, not really a storm, but some rain will come up for a little bit out of nowhere. So make sure you're bringing layers. Bring a jacket, because you never know the weather that'll pop up, because honestly, it's the Netherlands, man. Rain, shine, sun, clouds, all in the same 5-minute span. Now, when you're wandering through the Keukenhof, don't forget you can actually walk up onto the windmill there and get a nice little view. They do a nice job of actually having some stands so that you can see some of the displays. So you can go up, so you're not just looking sideways at things, you actually go above and look down on them to see the beautiful displays they have. And that's one of those things, you can go up there and see a few from up there, but I've seen platforms throughout, so it's kind of cool to check it out. Also, don't worry if you come here and it's not the greatest weather. You know, I talked about making sure you bring jackets and stuff, but there are pavilions, there are indoor things as well you can see, and it never really rains that hard here in the Netherlands. It just rains like consistently, so you can still get around with that jacket and still take in some beautiful stuff here at the Keukenhof. And when you're here in the Netherlands, you'll see people riding bikes all over the place, and by the Keukenhof is no different. However, I will tell you this, don't think you can ride bikes in the Keukenhof. You will need to leave it outside, but don't be afraid to rent a bike outside the Keukenhof and then go ride around the area, because then you can see the tulips. You can go to those tulip fields that you can actually walk through and pick stuff in as well. But honestly, doing that bike ride around is fantastic, but don't think you're gonna get to do it in here. You're like, how are you gonna fit all the people in with bikes? It ain't gonna happen. So that's why you do it outside of the Keukenhof around the area, okay? Now, another thing I need to mention when you are here, I mean, on the weekends and holidays, it can be extremely busy here. And I'm just going to tell you this, don't forget to have some patience when you are here, because you do have a lot of bottlenecks that are here. You have a lot of elderly people that come, a lot of people with kids that are here. So there's people that are moving a bit slower, and so they need a little more time. And I've seen some really like frustrated looking tourists as I've been walking around or waiting for people and stuff. So just be aware of that. If you're just here looking at flowers, just walk around and enjoy the flowers. Walk around and smell the tulips of life when you're here. Now, with all the beautiful tulips and all the different arrangements you're going to see when you're here, and of course the windmill, the boat tours, and all the stuff that's here, you are going to burn through the battery on your phone very quickly. And I would say this, don't forget to bring a backup battery, because you're not going to find charging stations around the Keukenhof. And the thing is, probably you got your ticket and your bus ticket through your phone, so if your battery's dead, you're going to have trouble getting out of here. So don't forget that battery backup. It is well worth it. You will use it when you are here. And I mentioned that boat, and I gotta tell you, there's a little boat tour you can take when you're here. It's pretty cute. You can do that. There's also the Instagram, hey, get a picture while you're sitting on a boat with the windmill in the background. They have those things you can do, which could be fun. So I just want to give you a heads up for that. Don't forget, you don't have to drive or take a tour out to the Keukenhof. You can actually get there in public transportation. There's actually the Keukenhof Express that goes from Schiphol Airport. It's a bus. Then there's the Keukenhof Express bus that goes from the Leiden Central Station. But if you're here in Amsterdam, you got to come to the Europlane. That is where the metro line goes to, Metro 52. And you're going to take bus 852. 852 will take you all the way there, okay? So don't think you have to drive, take a tour. You can do it on your own. But this is the metro stop you got to get to. And you're taking 852. So I'll go show you the bus. So there's bus 852, the Keukenhof Express, and yes, there will be a line. Don't worry, the buses run pretty often, so you just have to wait here for a bit to go. But it's very simple. Just got to get on and pay. You're good to go. Also, when you buy your ticket, you can actually get a combi ticket that'll actually pay for your drive there and your ticket in, so something to think about. Now, when you are here, don't forget you need to have your tickets pre-booked, because stuff sells out. They actually have their ticket checker before you even get on the bus, so it makes it a little bit faster when you get there. So yeah, so you need to pay for your bus. You just do tap and go and take care of that. So make sure you have your contactless payments, because when you're there, cash ain't king when you're at the Keukenhof. It is all card. Tap and go card's a lot too, but card is your thing. If you're wondering how long it took from Amsterdam to get out here to the Keukenhof, about 40 minutes. Though I will say the last 10 minutes was just sitting in the last like 500 meters of the line to get into the parking lot, so you'll be okay. If you're going to come from Leiden, the Keukenhof Express is 854, so we're going through there, and it actually takes you right to the Leiden station, so you have that option as well. And if you're not staying in Amsterdam, you're wondering what place is the closest one. Well, Leiden train station is the closest one, so you can actually take a bolt from here to the Keukenhof if you want, so that is another option. But you just take the bus instead, and don't forget, if you get your ticket don't forget to buy the combi ticket that has the ticket and the bus included, so you can do that. I was actually coming from Amsterdam then going to Leiden, so I had to do my own ticket thing. And if you do that, you do have to tap in. When you get on the bus, there'll be a little thing you'll tap, but also when you get off the bus, you got to tap, and that's outside. There's a little thing, so just have a heads up. So I hope this list of don'ts and maybe a few do's to the Keukenhof can help you have a greater time when you do come here, because it is beautiful. Make sure you pre-book those tickets. Come out here with the right shoes. You have a great time seeing all these beautiful flowers. So if you have other tips for people coming to the Keukenhof, please put in the comments below so people can have a better time when they come here, you know, from late March through early May, you know, especially in April time. It is beautiful out here, from the windmill to the tulips to all the pavilions and all the fun you can have. So I wish you all the best and say bye from here at the Keukenhof in the Netherlands.